Well, let's not waste time. Let's get to chapter 10. Boy met girl. Oh, a satellite. I guess I should say another satellite. The Beanstalk, low orbit station.
Heat-seeking warhead. We've been hit. Sensing Coriolis deviation across orbital ring. Reading shift to west by northwest, magnitude, 2.
Whoa!
Correcting tower balance. Releasing anchor bolts 127 through 214.
This seems familiar. Well, it reminds me of Nier Automata. Actually, a lot like it. Oh, they're the power source for that satellite. What is that? Oh, there's Mithra's artifice.
Siren losses now exceed 60%.
Director, the Beanstalk cannot hold. The Saviorite rebels are very close to capturing it.
Rebels? So who should I be rooting for?
Initialize IAM. Prepare the conduit.
Oh, this is how humanity died. I'm assuming. The first time. Or, well, mostly destroyed, because if
Director,
they died.
the conduit's authorization has failed. How come? We're locked out by Professor Klaus.
Klaus must be
We
the
can't secure
architect.
access from our side.
What did you say?
Almost sounds like Claude.
Trinity processes sync rate at 96%. That should be good enough. Let's begin the experiment.
In the midst of battle?
Professor, no! The results have not been confirmed. It's too dangerous.
Ridiculous. It's perfectly safe. We are about to bear witness to the birth of a universe.
What?
Once, only a god could perform such a miracle. But today, mankind moves one step closer to the divine.
What the heck were you doing?
Serious? Do you even fully understand that thing?
You didn't make
What's
it?
the alternative? Do you want to just surrender this place to them? The conduit is a gift from some divine entity.
You
It
didn't
is a
make it.
gateway. A gateway that will take us to an entirely new world.
You're delusional. Divine entity? The conduit is nothing more than a meta-universe manifold.
Galea, we humans are fools. We've ravaged the planet. We are on the verge of burning even the skies above. But the conduit could transform us into something so much more.
Okay.
Galea, this is the birth of a brand new universe.
You didn't have to push her. Huh. Wait, did he exterminate humanity? Oh, I say exterminate. I'm getting it confused with another show that I watched recently. One I've watched for a very long time.
Fools, indeed.
You're still alive.
The time has come.
Wait, is that ELYSIUM? Like, hold up. Like, why do I feel? Oh. Well, darn it. Forget you, game. After all I did? You want me to now switch back to Rex? Well, that is an interesting ability. Maybe I'll use it on the final battle, which I do not think is right now. So, in other words, I'm saying I will save it for later. Oh, I haven't even... I really want that, so we'll hold off on that. Yeah, just hold off. Okay. Architect. Let me think about that for a second. So, I assume maybe he was involved in the old Xenoblade, because I heard people saying that they could guess who the architect was. So, whoa. Yeah, well, I've heard people say they could guess who the architect was. So obviously, I have no idea who that man is, except, you know, think he's the architect. That's as far as I know him. Seems like some sort of scientist who came across some device, and they didn't make it. And then he activated some program, and then it might be the case that he is responsible for the world being destroyed. And maybe that is the cause of, or the birth of Malos and Mithra. Maybe that is part of the reason why everybody is so scared.
Now, let's see.
Flora heals an aching soul.
Or I say everybody, or I've heard many counter arguments now that I am starting to talk about the previous stuff. When I talked about how selfish the Aegis really was, I believe I mentioned how I didn't really get an argument that that was not the case. It was more the justification of why they were how they were, and why you should feel sympathetic, right? Which is what my whole issue was, is like I spent 30 minutes talking about something, and I didn't go into the other parts. Like, a big part of the argument was why I didn't talk about Nia, or why I didn't feel the same way about Nia for Van Damme's death, for example. Anyways. Whoa, interesting. Before we go, let's summon some blades, but I want to end off by saying, well, not really end off. Let's just, Nia, if you could get a healing blade, that would be awesome. Normal. I can't tell. That might be normal. Yep. At least it's a 4-star. Cool, I was hoping for that. Normal. Can't tell. That's a normal. That there is a normal. And a 3-star of anything. Alright. Anyways. Ooh, they got seats here too. I didn't mean to go on that tangent. Shoot. Should I finish it? I mean, it will be a long explanation. Let's see, do we have time? We might. No, doesn't look like it. Alright, well, who knows what I said.
It stopped moving.
Perhaps we've arrived at the end point.
If we go outside, we find out.
Well, let's go.
Good point. Let's have a look.
No point in waiting. I mean, Malos is clearly not here. Oh wait, was this the whole other world he was? We're in space.
Stars, they're close enough to touch.
The other view is quite something too. Look at the cloud sea all the way down there.
So this is the top of the World Tree.
Space. It was a satellite.
That sound.
Huh? What is that?
It's Elysium.
Elysium.
Don't tell me. Elysium is not
This way.
lush.
Let's check it out.
I mean, it could go two ways. Either Elysium isn't what they thought all this time. How did the architect came up? I mean, not the architect. Amalthus came up here, and Malos.
It's been a while, Father.
Logos.
Logos.
Is that my real name? What's it mean? Logos.
It has no meaning. All it represents is the ego of those who named you.
Makes sense.
How many years has it been?
I forget. It has been far too long.
You know why I'm here, don't you?
I know it all. All that you experience is passed on to me here.
Well, that's interesting.
Then, let's get straight to the point.
Huh. Makes sense.
No need to rush, my child. I'm fading. I'll be gone soon enough.
That's a coincidence.
Is that right? Then I'll take it all.
Do as you wish. If you believe that is your role.
Is that choice really mine? Answer me. This is what I came to hear.
That is true.
It is a choice you made together.
With his driver?
Good answer. Thanks for creating me.
And here comes the other answer.
Huh.
How remarkable.
Oh,
That
shoot.
view down below is the world where we live, isn't it?
I was thinking this was a thing to collect, but this is cool too.
So it would appear. I had no idea it was possible for humans to reach these kind of heights.
Well, not normally.
And this world tree's been around since forever too. I'm not sure I can keep up with what they're finding out here.
That's fair.
Hey, Prince, look! Over down there!
What is it? You see something?
Look, right over there! It's Genbu! That's gotta be Genbu!
Seriously? Wow, you're right. That does look like Tantal.
What are you talking about? Of course we can't see Tantal from all the way up here.
You might be able to, but it is quite far away.
We totally can, though! Come over and take a look!
Though I trust Pandoria can still see someone she's linked to.
I'm sure it's just a cloud or something. I don't see any sign of Tantal anywhere.
Not over there, over here!
Look right there!
It's so small, it's difficult to judge. Are you sure you're not imagining it?
No imagining going on here. That's Genbu, no doubt about it.
Is it though?
Bridget?
What is it, Lady Morai?
Well, it's just... I think I may have spotted
Wow.
Dane down there. Do you think that's really it?
What?
Oh hey, you found your place too.
Where do you mean?
I mean, they should be in the same area.
Over there, next to that strangely shaped cloud.
I see the one you mean.
Doesn't that distinctive shape look just like Morardane?
I do believe you're right. Those wide plains look just the right shape.
White plains?
And those shapes flying around it must be Titan battleships.
I thought as much. Incredible how one can feel the majesty of Morardain from all the way up here.
Quite right, Lady Morag.
Hold on, you two. Take a closer look.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's the Leftherian Islands.
Huh.
Morardain doesn't have all that greenery, does it?
You can tell the well, yeah, I guess you could.
Ah.
Huh. Heart to heart, top of the world. You know, I gotta say, well, if you don't know, I've always loved space and astronomy. One of these days, if there's an exploration-based game and it takes place basically in space, oh man, I would love that. Granted, can we see the bottom of the tree? Oh no, I guess we went for a very long ride. That's why it was like a jump cut. And while they were asking, I guess we've made it to our destination. Wow. You know, while I did say I can talk about the stuff that's happened in the past, I just no longer feel a need to. So let's see what we can find. About the architect, modern chairs, TV screens. I'm just curious right now if ELYSIUM really existed. There was a meme. I don't see. All right. I will say this. I genuinely do not like talking bad about something, especially now. I've recently had an experience. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, that's cool. Security gate. I recently had an experience where I watched an old show that I was not planning on watching, but after talking with somebody in my Discord, decided to give it a look. And it made me put things in a different perspective because, while I thoroughly enjoyed what I watched, many people disliked it, and I could obviously see their reasoning for it, but like, look at this. And, okay. Is this real? Is this real? That's ELYSIUM. Like, maybe not the real thing. It could easily be a simulated environment. If you want to, like, so when I got here, the Twit Gamer said he wanted to hear my theories, my thoughts. That's why I'm unlocking everything right now. And my thoughts right now are, this could either be a simulated environment, not real. In other words, we came up here, hoping to find some sort of answer, only to find that there's nothing here. And okay, so here, I should tell my theory on how I thought this entire game was gonna end, how I envisioned it a while ago. Okay? I think it's going to end, or I have a strong feeling on Titans are the key, right? All the Titans are dying out. We know that when a blade becomes a Titan, then they birth more blades, and those blades will eventually become Titans. You know where I'm going with this? Well, I think the more powerful a blade is, the bigger the Titan will be. In short, what would be better than a Titan formed from the Aegis? That is where, as soon as, well, for the longest time, since I met Pyra and she had that suspicious look on her face, that I thought there would be a gigantic butt to it. the theorist in me said, all right, she's probably going to end up sacrificing herself. The reason why, I'm not sure. But now we have a method. If the Aegis manages to die, the Titan that might spawn from it might be massive. Maybe something like this. Like Elysium. Maybe Elysium comes from the Aegis. It could be just Malos though. Maybe Malos decides to die for it in some odd way, shape, or form. Or maybe Malos dies and... Either way, that's where my theory is, or where my head was, where I thought the ending of the game might go. Since I also heard it was, the ending is apparently a big deal. So, now that I've said that, let's move on, shall we?
Say, what are these artifices anyway?
Yes, we should have asked that like a long time ago.
We've never even seen Siren, just that light thing it shoots down.
They're a power granted to the Aegises. Divine swords sleeping in Elysium, far above us all.
Interesting.
I thought Elysium was a paradise, not a scary weapon stash.
Who said that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
What do you mean you don't know?
See, guys!
All that I can find in the corners of my memory is that townscape. I don't know why Father created me, or created the artifices. That's what I want to find out.
Pyra.
It's okay. We'll find out once we get there.
We will!
I don't think...
Open a chest, it might turn out great. But until then, it's just a crate.
Okay,
That's
Rex.
Rule 4 of the Salvager's Code.
Not a bad code, Rex. I gotta admit.
Comparing Elysium to dirty old sea junk.
He's not wrong. I remember a comment. Well, even though it's been like a very long time, there was a comment on the episode, I think, where somebody was questioning why I was still skeptical about Pyra and Mithra. Yet that was it in a nutshell. Right? I mean, see, I kind of just want to think for a second. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, somebody said Elysium, you know, it was a large open space. Like, it was supposed to have land for everybody. But I was like, what? How? Like, I was thinking either A, there was no way Pyra knew that because she hasn't ever been to Elysium. Or B, she didn't know that and she had been there, you know, at some point in time and should have told us everything about Elysium. So we just got our answer. Pyra only knows that distant memory. I'm pretty sure the same is for Mithra, though I don't want to speak it. But I'm pretty sure the same is for Mithra. They only have a distant memory, and that's why they want to go. But then that brings the question, what I'm trying to say, how does Pyra know that? A couple things. One, if Malos goes back to Elysium, he could regenerate himself. How does she know that? Where did that distant memory come from? Was it when she was born? Was it when she was being made? How does she know about the artifices? How there are swords up in Elysium stashed away? You know, it's very, very weird. Everything about Pyra and Mithra is weird. If I am right, I'll say what I'm thinking when I get there. If I'm wrong, well, then this game will genuinely surprise me. The other theory could be, though, that Elysium is real, and when he made a new world, that's what he made.
It sure is bright.
Yeah, it's right through here. I'm sure of it. We've almost reached Elysium.
Oh, well.
What is this place?
There's the tree.
Can this place really be Elysium?
Yep, I
Where's
am
the
not
greenery,
surprised.
the water, bird song?
It's gone, Rex.
There's nothing. Nothing here at all.
What a wretched sight. I have not seen anything like this in all my years on Allrest.
Because Titans die, so...
Pyra!
Their stuff.
I don't understand. I don't get it. This is not how I remember.
Of course, it's been years, decades, centuries.
That bell sound must be coming from somewhere. Is someone here?
Well...
Over there. Poppy detected one big thing, kind of like building, over that direction. Sound seemed like it come from there.
That building, eh? Then there's no point hanging around here.
Yeah. Only one way to find out.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, Rex.
Alright. It might still be okay. Maybe it's just this bit that's destroyed.
And I'm not...
There's bound to be something over that way.
I think this is the perfect time. Perfect time to talk about it then. Hopefully we get to actually just travel through. This is the one time where I really... Huh. Interesting. Wonder if they'll all say something different. We should try. Let's see what Rex says. Okay. Well, might as well do everybody. Oh, sure. Looks like Moritha, yeah? Interesting point, Nia. Zeke? Well, hello, someone. I will speak about what I am thinking in a second. Yeah. Indeed, Tora. Okay. Now then, include, swap. Good. All right. This is why I wanted to ask Little Miss Pyra and Mithra over here questions. Look, I get the feeling what's been going on with Xenoblade is that I got a feeling that the stakes weren't being realized. We were facing the end of the world, and we had a person here who claimed to have been to Elysium, is the Aegis, a being we know little about, who had potentially destroyed continents. Even if it was by accident, Rex has people he cares about on Leftheria. If he's the driver of the Aegis, why wouldn't he at least want to know if he could accidentally cause a catastrophe? It's like we're not realizing that this could be the reality everywhere. And we have the person who can give us the most answers. We could know maybe something in Pyra and Mithra's story, if we asked them about it, would give us an indication that this is possibly what we are leading towards. She knew about Moritha, apparently, that was a possibility. If we don't remember our past, we are destined to repeat it, or something like that. I believe the line goes something like that. So, understand when I heard that we heard an indication that things were not as we seemed. Gramps knew, Pyra and Mithra knew, but not Rex. Not Nia gave a question. Like, what was all that about Mithra saying once Malus gets to Elysium, he can heal himself? Where exactly? Well, if we ask this is why I say why I'm mad at the game, because I feel like most people would have asked questions. But if questions were asked, we would have gotten to this conclusion a lot sooner. We would ask Mithra, wait, how do you know Malus can heal himself? Is there some sort of device you're not telling us about? Is he just healed naturally in this environment? Perhaps many people didn't think about that when they were playing the game, but to me, even not considering the end goal, just the fact of, hey, we want to make sure that, and they didn't have to go all out. All they had to say was that Pyra and Mithra, or for Pyra to say it's impossible for her to use the continent destroying power now, because that is true. Mithra had sealed herself. Therefore, she didn't need to go through her whole backstory if she didn't want to at that time.
I could have sworn.
Searching database.
But if I was the driver of the Aegis, I would have asked her, okay, what the heck is an Aegis? And she would have to tell me, what her power is, and I would ask her, how do I make sure I don't cause the same mistake again once I heard what Morak said? I would ask her all the questions I could about Elysium, especially if that was my dream. Where is it? How do we get to it? No, I mean, obviously, she said it's atop the world tree. So, and yeah, so, we wouldn't need to ask that question. But looking at Elysium now, I am thinking that this was some sort of biosphere.
Let's see.
Searching database.
Like Ark. If you guys know Ark Survival Evolved. This whole thing was a place for the people living here. Or maybe the world down below was so polluted. That can also be a factor as well. Oh. Well, yeah, water towers are... Wow, Morak seems like the perfect person to be looking at all this stuff. The water tower we knocked down and, when we first fought Morak, the very moment in question, that caused all this discourse. Look, the swing sets. Nothing says apocalyptic world. Oh, shoot, I wanted to get close to it. It really does remind me of Nier Automata.
This place looks like it was once a city, and quite an old one at that.
It's actually a lot like the stuff we saw in Moritha.
Yeah?
Way more dusty, though. Maybe because it's so dry up here.
Huh?
A bike. Yeah.
It seems to have been a child's vehicle.
Right. So that means people lived here once.
They did.
It must have been a grand old city. It stretches further than the eye can see. You could fit the entire population of Allrest into this place, and with room to spare.
Some sort of park. Yeah. So, Nier Automata, this part, I won't spoil the game, but I think it's quite obvious when you, like, the beginning of the game, it's like, environments are like this everywhere. It's actually, yeah, quite similar when you think about the blades and, well, yeah, I don't want to say too much about it. Because honestly, if you want to, like, anybody, like, I'll ask you, those of you who like Xenoblade, have you played / seen Nier Automata? It's a different type of game in different instances, but, and many instances that I like to talk about, it is similar, even down to the attractiveness of the main characters. But I will say that for those of you who have seen Nier Automata, I think that is a story that's done better, because the clues you want, the secrets you want to find out, if you dig deep into the story and the lore, you know, you can find clues. Like exploring an area like this, you could find out what happened based on logs and of course the story itself. But it's more reward to you for finding out information on your own, and there's no one around who can simply answer that question. The issue isn't that I wanted to know things and I couldn't find out. Like, you can find similar things in Fire Emblem where there are questions I like to know, but I'm just simply waiting for the right time for them to be brought up, or, you know, they're not life-threatening. They're not, hey, the world's gonna end if we don't figure this stuff out. I was so eager to figure out what Pyra Mythra knew because the world was at stake. And then you combine that with the fact that people were explaining the things and they were like, well, just wait and see, you know? And it's like, wait and see. Like, Pyra's right here. Mythra's right here. Why do we need to wait? If there's something they don't know, we need to know that they don't know so we don't think that they do know, and that they're wise and all-seeing, as Jin says. They're so clever. And then we can then make a better plan, make a better goal. Of course, getting here, you know, it was something we just eventually needed to see. It's more the fact of what Malos was, and you know, how he could get himself healed. Malos getting himself here to heal didn't make sense, as they tried going after Pyra. Like, literally, if they didn't go after Pyra and Mythra, who could stand up against them? The world would have been divided, you know. They probably could have taken out Morag in a sort of assassination attempt.
Searching database.
Same thing with, well, I don't know about Zeke. And you just saw Jin just basically took out Amalthus. They're powerful, yet they woke up a person who was Malos's enemy, who Malos didn't have the capability to beat. And it's like, why? Well, I think the only reason is because Malos needed them to heal himself. So, hang on, I need to eat something. I'm getting hungry. All right, I'm back. I had a little quick something. I do not want to stop this right now, though I'll have to. My memory isn't the best.
Is that it? The bells have stopped.
A cathedral.
A signal we should enter, perhaps?
We probably should.
Welcome home, my children.
Who's there?
Father?
What? You don't mean...
The architect is here, but where?
I am always here. Come to me.
Oh, is this where Malos went?
Please look! Over there is staircase.
It seems to lead to a lower level.
Guess we have to.
Yeah. I imagine so as well. Oop.
This is for a just cause.
My worry is that I'm gonna get to a place where I need to stop. But we're so close to meeting him. I want to see what he has to say. So I'm going to continue down. And now it is time for the question of the day. And I just want to do a little apology real quick because I understand my thoughts kind of may have been slightly all over the place at the end. It's because half of it was me reacting to the state of Elysium, and half of it was me reacting to all the stuff since episode 7 with people defending Pyra. Because you know what happened if you followed the playthrough. When I saw the state of Elysium, I felt like all the complaints that I had about Pyra's character, they just, I felt like I was completely valid in that moment. Like, I felt not liking her in the episode where I called her selfish, like that was one thing. But now I know everything that people have said, because that's exactly what I was worried about. I was like, we need to ask questions because something isn't adding up. And then I get to Elysium, I'm like, there we go. So honestly, I was happy, honestly, to see the state of Elysium. Though I do hope that there is, some way they can move past this. But I also want to state that I was genuinely enjoying the game. One thing I hope that people take from this, if you are one of the people who defended Pyra so avidly, because I do plan to speak more about her, just not this episode, is that see how I am still enjoying the game despite having issues with her. Like, you can tell I needed to take a break just to eat, and I was saying I don't want to stop playing this. I want to continue the game. I want to see where it's going. I was very invested in that moment in time, and I can tell you, when I end the recording session off, I still am like, I want to keep playing, but I have to stop because I'm out of memory. Literally, that's the reason I stopped. I was out of memory. So I could still enjoy the game despite not liking Pyra's character. The issue was I couldn't enjoy the playthrough if I felt every time I did that, I would get people battling back and telling me spoilers and all kinds of stuff just to defend her, when, in my opinion, there was nothing to defend. And we can get to that. All right, I'm not making this video to say that, or making a segment to say that. I'm just saying that be careful. I know you all wanted me to love the game as much as you did, but to be quite frank, when I saw that issue, that was a flaw, and I was acknowledging it and looking at it as like a flaw. To not look at it like a flaw, that's where an issue happened. But we can get to that later. All right, right now, I gotta say, Mitch, if you're listening to this and watching, I find it so funny that you mentioned Nier Automata last episode in your comment, and it was a big thing for me in this episode. So that's where this question of the day is going to be about. I'm just going to ask everyone, have you played/seen the story of Nier Automata? And if so, which story do you think told its narrative better between the two games? Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Nier Automata, because I'm honestly curious. There's a lot I would like to discuss, and I didn't want to do spoilers in the video, so if you don't know Nier Automata, then don't look at people's answers for the question of the day. But I am pretty curious because I feel like there is a lot to talk about there. So with that said, please post your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.